Welcome back to AM Northwest. Our next guest has amassed 8 million besties across social media, took home the award for Motivational Creator of the Year, and was named one of USA Today's Comedians to Watch. Now he's out with the highly anticipated book, Be Your Own Bestie, a no-nonsense guide to changing the way you treat yourself. We welcome social media star, podcast host, and performer, and author, Misha Brown. Good morning, Misha. How you doing?
Hey, bestie. I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. Well, listen, bestie, how did you come up with this idea? Was there one morning that you woke up and you said, I've got to change my life?
Yeah, for me, my own journey started 7.5 years ago in a little rinky-dink hotel in New Jersey. I was performing on tour, and I realized that I didn't recognize the life that I had built around me. And so I knew that I was at a crossroads where I could either, do the same thing I was doing and hope for a mediocre life at best, or try something new and maybe it would work out, maybe it wouldn't. But spoiler, it did work out.
It did work out really well. But what were you doing that wasn't working? You were drinking?
I was drinking, I stopped auditioning for, the shows that were of my dreams. I stopped believing in myself. I stopped believing that I deserved all of the things I had worked so hard for my entire life. And so I found myself at a really sad and lonely place.
And then how do you turn things around? That's a big thing. I mean, it's not like, did you go to rehab? You didn't do that, right?
No, I sat down. I'm a planner. And so I sat down and I came up with a little method for myself that I called the S.A.S.S method, that I just mapped out my year. I reclaimed the word sassy that the director of that show called me. And I was like, I am sassy. and so, yeah, I mapped out like what I was going to do for the next year to try to get my life on track. And that's what I did. That's what I used.
Well, tell me about S.A.S.S. That's your method. Tell me about it. So let's start with the first S, which you say is self-reflection.
Self-reflection. That was the moment I realized I was good at casting blame on all these external forces as to why my life wasn't working the way that I wanted it to. And so this was me taking accountability, looking in the mirror and saying, what is my role that I'm playing in my life and how can I regain some control on that? So really it's asking yourself, why?
Okay, affirmations.
Yeah, we've torn ourselves all the way down. So now it's time we build ourselves back up.
Oh, good
And
point.
we know affirmations as sticky notes on our mirror that say you are enough. And those are really great. And I think those are useful. But it's also about action, showing up for yourself, doing things for yourself every single day that just really reaffirm that you also deserve to be cared for and nurtured the way you treat other people.
And then your next S is standing your ground, setting boundaries.
Yeah, it's a fancy way of saying setting boundaries. And obviously we know all about drawing that line in the sand with boundaries that we place upon other people. But I also talk in the book about the importance of placing boundaries within ourselves. I was really bad at, trusting my gut, for example. And that got me into some sticky situations. So,
give me an example of a sticky situation that it got you to.
I would take certain contracts, certain really low budget theater contracts, and then they would end up being, abusive in a way. And I knew that going into it. I saw the red flags, but I ignored it because my self-worth was in the tank.
You didn't trust yourself.
I didn't trust myself.
Right. And your last S is sculpting the life you want.
The most fun part, right? If you've done all the other work, we've gathered all of this evidence that we are so capable and deserving of chasing the dreams that that kind of scare us a little bit. And so that's the fun part of just really, figuring out what you want and then going after it.
Okay, tell me about what happened when you changed your life, when you turned things around. Did you lose friends that you used to maybe have hung out with? Did your friend cycle or circle, change?
Some, yeah. I mean, I write a chapter in the book about breaking up with my childhood best friend. She pressured me to drink very early on in my sobriety, which is not great. But I've worked through that and I realized that I was the one who changed, not her. She was the same free spirit party girl that I got into trouble with.
Right.
But it just didn't work for the direction that I wanted my life to go in. So there was some of that, but it really also strengthened other relationships. I was wrapped in love by people that I expected it from, but also some people that really surprised me.
Oh, that's so great. So you have, 8 million besties, right? Mm-hmm. Why do you think what you do resonates with them so much?
You know, when I first started my platform, it was supposed to be entertaining. It was supposed to be comedy. And somewhere along the way, I realized the power of being seen. And so I really tried to focus my POV on helping other people feel seen, be part of a community and feel less alone. I know that when I was struggling, I was silently struggling and it felt very isolating. So I think people just connect to the stories because, I give them permission to just be human.
Your family must be so proud of you.
Oh my gosh, the other night I had a show in Buffalo and my mom was walking up and down the VIP meet and greet in line like, "Thank you so much for coming. It was lovely to be here." So proud.
Well, I'm guessing that she saw this great side of you that you didn't see for a while, right?
You know what? And so many other people. I looked at my high school yearbook during the pandemic and was so shocked to see what all of my friends in high school had written to me because I didn't remember them. My brain blocked it out. People have always supported me. It was just I wasn't able to receive it all the time.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any other advice for people who are thinking, I need to think about what Misha says here. How do I turn, what is the first step? Is it doing what you did, which is sit down and plan it out?
I don't think that would work for everybody, but I do think, the first step would just be taking small little moments out of your day that's just for you, no relation to other people, expectations, or responsibilities, and just really practice teaching yourself that you deserve to be cared for.
I love it. You are going to be in Portland. You're going to be at Helium on Saturday. You have a sold-out show, and then you have added a 1:30 show so people can see you
Yes.
there, right? You must
Yes.
get so much love when people come to the show.
It's been so overwhelming the past few days, but really, really exciting. And yeah, I feel so wrapped in love.
Yeah.
And seeing my besties en masse rather than just, behind their handles on social media
Right.
has been, a life-changing experience.
We want to tell everyone the book again is called Be Your Own Bestie, a no-nonsense guide to changing the way you treat yourself. Misha Brown, thank you so much, and we'll see you in Portland.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back with more AM Northwest. Don't go away.